Hi, and welcome back to the Plant-Based Chow. I'm Holly Gramling, and today we are going to be making a pea and mushroom risotto. But instead of using the risotto, we're actually going to substitute that for brown rice. So I'm very excited about this. I made this a few weeks back, and I didn't think that my kids were really going to like it all that much because it has mushrooms in it. But much to my surprise, they really did enjoy it. So come on in and I will show you what a few ingredients we're going to use today. So just have your pepper on hand because we're going to need about 1/4 teaspoon of that, or to taste, whichever. Here we have 1 cup of frozen peas. You could also use fresh peas as well. Here, 1 cup of onion, chopped up nice and small. And then a teaspoon of thyme, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, 3 cloves of garlic, chopped up nice and fine. And this is 1 tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons of nutritional yeast. Right here I have 1 cup of brown rice. This is long grain, but you can use short grain as well. This is only 2 cups of broth right now, but altogether we will need 6. I have the condensed version of the broth, so I have 6 cups worth of broth in here as far as the paste goes. I just got to add the other 4 cups to it, so I'll do that when we're cooking. But altogether you will need 6 cups of broth. And then in here I have a little over 1/4 cup of cashews, and with 1 cup of water. Can you see in there? And what you're going to do is, as soon as you start to make this recipe, go ahead and put your cashews in the water right away, because those need to soak for about 30 minutes. And then by the time you get done preparing all the rest of this, it will be at least 30 minutes, if not more. So go ahead and do that very first. And here we have mushrooms, and this is about 8 ounces of mushrooms, chopped up pretty fine. I did, mostly because the kids don't like huge chunks of mushrooms, so I cut them up pretty fine. But if you like the bigger chunks like this to have more to bite into, go ahead and leave them a little bit bigger. That's up to you. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna head on over to the stove with our rice, our thyme, and our onion, or I'm sorry, our garlic. And come on over. Oh, you know what? We also need our broth, so I'm going to grab that real quick. So another thing you want to do first is you want to get the rice started, because the rice is going to take at least 45 minutes to make. So if we can get that going first and get that out of the way. So there's my 2 cups, and now let me add my other 4. Okay, so we have all 6 of our cups of the broth in the pan. So we're going to go ahead and just turn this on. To the pan, we're going to add our rice, our 1 cup of rice, our garlic, and our thyme. And of course we're going to just bring this to a boil, and we are going to let the rice cook. And like I said, that will take about 45 minutes or so, so just kind of keep checking on it to see when your rice is nice and soft. Alright, so the next step what we're going to do while we're waiting on our rice to cook and come to a boil and everything, we're going to take a second pan, and we're going to add about 1/4 cup of water to that, and our onions. And we're just going to go ahead and let our onions kind of cook and get nice and soft and translucent. And of course, if you shouldn't need to with this part, but if you do happen to need to, you can, if the onions start to stick, you can go ahead and add about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons at a time, just to prevent sticking. And this will probably take about 5 minutes for the onions to cook down. Alright, so the onions are very soft and translucent. Come on over, Jericho, and show them what our onions are looking like in our pan. So that's kind of what they look like now. Kind of glossy, translucent, soft. And so from here, we're going to go ahead and add our mushrooms. Whoops. Add our mushrooms. And go ahead and add a little pepper now if you want. Woo! Oh my goodness. So, about a 1/4 teaspoon worth. And then give that a good stir. And of course, if you start to see that things are sticking, you add about a tablespoon or 2 of water at a time. And so we're going to go ahead and let this cook again for about another 2 to 3 minutes and kind of get those mushrooms cooked down a little bit. Our mushrooms are now nice and cooked down. As you can see, I didn't have to add a lot of water because the mushrooms release their own waters here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add these frozen peas, and we're going to let this cook and the peas get nice and thawed and warmed up. And then all we do is we wait for our rice to get done. And while I mention that, as you can see over here, my rice did come to a boil, so I went ahead and turned down the heat a little bit and put a lid on top to kind of keep the moisture in and get it to cook. So as soon as this is done, we will be back and I will show you the last few and final steps to this recipe. Alright, it has been 45 minutes and our rice is done. And our peas and mushroom mixture here is all warmed up and ready to go. So the last thing I need to do is my cashews have been in my blender with the water. And so I'm just going to blend these for about less than a minute, just until it's smooth. So I'm going to do that now. Alright, that went on for a little bit longer than what I thought it would. That's okay. It's nice and smooth. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and put our pea mixture in here. So Jericho, come on over, and actually I want you guys to kind of see what this rice looks like before I add anything to it. So it's still got quite a bit of liquid in there, which is okay because once we start adding all this other in here, it will be all right. It will even out. So we're going to put these in here. Kind of give that a stir. And then we got our cashew mixture that we're going to go ahead and add in as well. Cashew milk. Good. And then lastly, from here, we are going to put in the apple cider vinegar that we had, about a teaspoon. And then our nooch, or nutritional yeast. And we're going to give that a stir. Get it all mixed together. Smells beautiful. Looks pretty good. And this, of course, is served. You can serve this with a side salad as well, which is what we will be doing tonight. Because we need our greens, right? So that looks really good. And I will go ahead and scoop some out in this bowl here. This is Jericho, our cameraman, again.
It's
Taste
me again.
tester.
Yeah. Alright.
He's a little apprehensive because of the mushrooms, but he forgot he liked it last time.
Yeah, this is actually, I forgot about this meal. I thought I didn't like it. But yeah, this is that.
Alright, so it's kid tested?
Kid tested, mother approved.
Yeah, but is it kid approved?
Sure.
Picky kid approved?
Picky kid approved, yeah.
Alright, there you go. There you guys have it. Once again, a good meal. And thank you for watching the plant-based chow, and we will see you next time.
Bye.